Welcome back. The sudden collapse of Silicon Valley Bank is now under investigation.
Both the Justice Department and Securities and Exchange Commission say they're looking into the causes of the bank's downfall. They also want to know if bank executives sold company stock in the days beforehand. That could indicate they knew a collapse was coming and wanted to cash out while they still could. The bank's failure was the largest since Washington Mutual went under during the 2008 housing crisis. Now, some Republican lawmakers are blaming the failure of the Silicon Valley Bank on woke capitalism. Missouri Senator Josh Hawley tweeting woke garbage such as climate change solutions contributed to the bank's downfall, and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis suggesting that the bank's diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives contributed to the closure.
Now, these criticisms come as more financial institutions do adopt and companies adopt environmental, social, and governance standards for company activities and objectives. It's become more popular in recent years as some investors look to put their money into companies that are socially and environmentally conscious. The debate over ESG runs from Wall Street up to the steps of the U.S. Capitol and down into state treasuries. Some treasurers call the ESG practices financially irresponsible because they prioritize corporate whims over making money for their state pension funds.
And states are taking action to benefit those state workers whose pensions are impacted by ESG practices. William Cohan is a former senior Wall Street investment banker and a founding partner with digital media company Puck News. He is also the author of the New York Times bestseller, Power Failure, The Rise and Fall of an American Icon, which focuses on General Electric. And he joins us now. Bill, welcome back to Morning Rush. Thank you so much for coming on. This has become the latest political battlefield over ESG. So let's just start from the beginning here. When did this ESG movement begin, and why has it grown in popularity?
Well, I'd say, it's hard to pinpoint exactly when people decided that being socially conscious about their investments began. We could say that it began at the beginning of time, perhaps. But I think it really picked up steam in the last 3 or 4 years with various big pools of investment money directing their decision-making towards an investment towards companies that are more socially responsible and away from companies that they believe are being irresponsible. And so, you very well characterize the debate that's raging all around the country right now.
And when it comes to the collapse of these banks, why is ESG facing so much of the backlash? It feels a little bit like placing the blame on something that is in the political spectrum right now. Why is it becoming synonymous with the so-called woke capitalism?
I have no idea why lawmakers are blaming the failure of Silicon Valley Bank or Signature Bank on woke capitalism. That is utterly ridiculous, if you ask me. Certainly in the case of Silicon Valley Bank, it failed because of a combination of a long history of Fed policies that kept interest rates near zero, and frankly, mismanagement by the bank's executives about how they invested their customers' deposits. And when a run on the bank starts, when people lose confidence in a bank, as happened very quickly last week at Silicon Valley Bank, there's really not very much that can be done, especially when the deposits from the public have been invested in long-term securities. You can't possibly borrow short and lend long and survive a bank run. And that's the way it's been from time immemorial.
So supporters of ESG will say that while it's focused on the environmental aspect, the social issues, governance, it also has financial interest at heart as well. Like long term, it's a good financial decision. But these critics, they don't seem to buy that argument.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I've spent time talking to the state treasurer of the state of South Carolina, who's a fiduciary for some $60 billion of citizens of the state of South Carolina's money. And he believes very strongly that he wants to invest that money. He's responsible for choosing money managers to invest that money where it can get the highest possible return. And he doesn't want money managers telling him where he can and can't invest that money because they don't like, a certain industry's characteristics. And, that is a fascinating debate. I think I can see both sides of the argument. But if you're a fiduciary for an awful lot of money, I think you owe it to yourself and the people you're a fiduciary for to get the highest possible return that you can. If you feel like you can do that by, say, not investing in fossil fuel companies, then you should do that. But if you feel like you must get that return by investing in fossil fuel companies, then you should be able to do that too and make that decision and not be criticized for it.
And before we go, you have a new book out about the fall of General Electric, which you call a cautionary tale about hubris and blind ambition. Sounds like a message that could resonate in politics, business, and all walks of life. Tell us a little more about that message.
Well, I mean, what I found so fascinating, what I wanted to discover, if I could, is you have this incredible company that is like the Apple and Microsoft and Google all rolled up into one. GE was the most valuable, most respected company in America in the 20th century. And then relatively early this century, it, sort of fell apart and is now being literally dismantled. And I wanted to know how that happened and why. And I think it is a tale of hubris and poor decision making, not unlike exactly what just happened at Silicon Valley Bank. People get caught up in their own wonderfulness and forget to understand the basic risks that exist in their businesses. And that's hugely important and consequential. And so this is a story, an incredible story of how that happened.
A lot of lessons to be learned out of this Silicon Valley collapse.
All right, William Cohan, founding partner at Puck News. Thank you for your time this morning. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.